A mound. A rounded mass projecting above a surface. Minnesota. Now, Minnetonka. You start having to check out these words to find out their true meanings. Apparently over in Minnetonka, or Minnesota, whatever you want to call it, this place right here, Eagle Mountain, apparently is Mount Sinai. Now, what the hell is this about a mound? Let me show you. That little mountain right there, and I think you can see. We're going to get more serious images of this mountain in Minnetonka, Minnesota, Minnesota, mini mound, Eagle Point. Now, this is in no history book. According to legend, there was 2 massive earthquakes in about 100-year span. One in the 1600s and one in the 1700s, where a sudden drop occurred where the Great Lakes were created, and it was originally salt water, and it was called the Sweet Sea. Samuel L. Champlain was the primary witness to the U.S. change, and 1650s explorers heard stories about how stone houses below new lakes, when a great water wave came from the west. Bone and turtle fields, vast areas of the U.S. had dead sea life and turtles from 1678 to 1682, and Alexander von Humboldt said a global tectonic reset had occurred. Now, if this mountain in Eagle Mountain in Minnesota, mini mound, saved the lives of millions of people and is supposedly known as Terra del Leso, the land of Jesus. Wow. It's referred to all over. Look at the top left. The Maine refers to a land called Terra del Leso. And it sure enough does. And these maps show Terra del Leso all over them. This right here, I believe, is the Terra del Leso oasis. Now, you can look at it all you want, and apparently glaciers did not cover this portion of Minnesota. And if this region right here is known as an oasis, then WTF? Terra del Leso in Minnesota and 4 other states. The land of Jesus? Let me show you what it would have looked like. So, all around you would have been glaciers like right here. These glaciers would be creeping up on you. You'd probably have to wait to get up onto them to, they would just be the start of like mountain ranges or whatever outside of your village. But look at these plush, beautiful streams that would be running out of here in Terra del Leso. These beautiful little waterways flowing, choked off by ice dams. All of these beautiful mounds and these outwashes and these outcroppings. And then this huge little mound in the ground just pops up out of nowhere. And it would create this oasis surrounded by ice or water. It would have been an island. Terra del Leso, the land of Jesus. Mount Eagle is where people survived floods. The driftless area would have been an oasis. Minnesota. When explorers first found the Great Lakes, they were originally salt water because they were created from a tsunami that came from the west, according to indigenous populations. And those men who I witnessed, who I mentioned, can tell you about those changes. Soda lakes, highly alkaline, salty lakes found in closed drainage basins. So it's saying right here that soda lakes, otherwise known as sweet seas, otherwise known as the Great Salt Lake, where oceans used to be across the United States, and their water turned sweet like soda because of the high alkaline salt, because of the fact that they used to be an ocean but are no more. There could have been areas where maybe the water was 5 feet deep across the state. There could have been areas where the water was only 3 feet deep. There could have been water where it was only a foot deep or 1,000 feet deep. But when all of this salt sifted to the bottom after this massive tsunami, after the Juan de Fuca plate broke off, creating this massive tsunami that came from the west, this area of the driftless area, I believe, is Terra del Leso, and I believe that Jerusalem, Utah, is where the seas parted, because the Great Salt Lake is this part that was left, and the Grand Canyon is where it went out. The evidence is starting to stack up that Minnesota lakes, Minnesota. You got to think back to how things started. They all started because of mistranslations. Chilaga became Chicago. That just is because of people going, hey, yeah, you going to Chicago? Oh, yeah, Chilaga, Chicago, Chamaga, Chicago. Hey, you going over to Chicago? Hey, you going to somebody's tuxedo? Sure. Hey, you going to the casino? No, I don't need a casino, but I'm going over to Chilaga to get to some Chicago dogs. People are stupid. That's the reason we're in the boat we're in, or the mound, as it were. So is Eagle Mountain the land of Jesus? Is this Mount Sinai? And if it is, can we do a rethink? It's not that impressive of a mountain. But if it was high enough to save people from floods, and any ass clown with more than a third grade education can look at that topography and tell that was created by multiple shorelines, proving that that indeed was once underwater. You can look at every one of those rippling downward marks and see that that was an ancient shoreline until that water dissipated down to nothing. So Minnesota, you finally got your day in the sun for something other than trying to attack ice agents. Congratulations. The most fraudulent state full of freaks and weirdos we ever saw in our life. We thought you was normal. No, you're nothing normal. Ain't nothing normal about that state. Oh, Minnetonka. Terra del Leso, the land of Jesus. We sailed across most of it before settling in Minnesota, Terra del Leso. We will ask Donald Trump, since apparently he's a time traveler.